I'm with exercise physiologist Rod Connolly, owner of Dogma Athletica and Live It Group Training here in Edwards, Colorado. We all want to do our best when we hit the slopes. Rod, give me an exercise to get me warmed up before we go out there.
Perfect. So one of the things that we really want to do is make sure we develop and get our hips warmed up in mobility in our hips. The typical thing that could be a negative in skiing would be obviously at the knee. That's where most injuries happen, on the knee. Now the knee functions well as a hinge joint. It doesn't do well with any rotation on there. Now if we're going to get good mobility in our hips, it's going to allow you to get that angulation of really driving your skis, driving into the turn. It keeps your knee safer because if you have the mobility at the hip, if you ever caught an edge, the rotation doesn't happen at the knee joint.
It could happen here as well.
It can twist at the hip, which is safer for your knee. So let's do a good prep exercise for getting you set up for going on the slip. So you're gonna sit down on the mat and you're gonna be into what we call this figure 4 hip rotation drill. So ideally you're at 90 degrees. You're at 90 degrees at this one and 90 degrees at this one. So right now, Brenda, you're starting in external hip rotation on your right hip and internal on your left.
Okay.
Now go ahead and start to make it fairly easy. Put your hands behind you and lean back slightly.
See, I think I'm tight because I can't get my hip,
And it is a little bit tight, so you just lean back a little bit more. Now the goal is you're gonna, like a pair of windshield wipers, you're gonna simultaneously go up and over, and now you went into internal rotation on the right and external on the left, and then now take them back. So this is what happens if you're really driving a ski turn. You're having simultaneous internal and external rotation on each of the hips. That's right, you'll get there, good. And then bring it back. Now for your viewers, when this starts to feel easy when you're leaning back, you can make it a little more challenging by bringing your torso up and maybe even your hands off. And then you bring it up and over. You got it, you got it. Nice.
Okay, one side's looser than the other.
And most people will notice that there might be a little difference from side to side.
So this is easy. You can be watching, my ski tip on TV.
Absolutely.
Or the weather. But
absolutely. Mostly your ski tip on TV right there. And then what's happening is she's starting to get some mobility happening in her hip. She's developing that. She's getting the capsule of the hip where the femur goes warmed up before you get outside and on your skis and put those skis on and really want to drive your turns.
I mean, really, look, if I was on ski, you want that kink. You want to be facing down the hill, so you want that, but it's so tight, but right now I'm loosening it up.
You're loosening it up. Ready? Rotate back over. You got it.
It's just like I say when I'm doing my ski tip, you kink over that downhill foot down the hill with your upper body.
Exactly.
So it's really loosening everything.
It's loosening all of this up, and it allows you to feel more open and mobile in your hips, and even a little bit of activation in the glutes and the hip rotators before you go out and put those skis on.
Okay.
You don't need really any space. You can do it in your condo. You can do it in your hotel room.
Okay, I like that one.
All right.
Okay.
This is a great way to get your hips prepped, to keep your knees safe, and also be able to really drive your skis.
I want to be safe, and I want everyone out there to be safe.